Hello and welcome on the Gaithersburg Giants broadcast network. And last night we could not get in a full game, but today we look at getting in two full games. This is game one of the doubleheader between the Southern Maryland Senators and the Gaithersburg Giants. I'm David Lewis, joined alongside me, Collin Smith. It's been a bit of a lonely, hot week for me, but Collin, so happy to have you back.
Excited to be back. Excited to be back in Gaithersburg, back here in the treehouse, as we like to call this booth. Hopefully the weather holds out today. We got some gray clouds in the sky, but it's not too hot, so a little bit of a switch up.
Yeah. As I've said, a very hot week. Yesterday in Olney, the Giants were down 2 after the first inning. A first inning that was over an hour long due to a lightning delay that started after just 4 pitches thrown in the top of the first. Now, Gaithersburg has that game suspended, currently up 8-5 at the end of the 6th inning. We had to pause that due to a light ordinance and noise ordinance in the Olney community. So that game will be made up in the, I believe, the hour before Wednesday's matchup against the Crop Dusters. Sean McCabe out on the mound to start for the Giants, making his first start.
Last time you and I saw Sean McCabe was back on Juneteenth during the fireworks show. He comes out of the bullpen, gets 3 straight strikeouts with fireworks in his ear. That was one of the best performances I've ever seen. Had the chance to call. We clipped it, put it on the Instagram. That was just great times.
It was something that I never thought I would witness, but I mean, you talk about having distractions in the ballpark, and fireworks going off the entire inning is certainly part of that. First pitch from McCabe in his first start misses on the batter Nick Flores, the shortstop, the sophomore from VCU for the Senators. 1-0. This one hit hard by Flores. Backtracking is Powell. Powell is going to watch this one hit off the fence. Flores will stroll into second, and the relay will stop at Aiden Marino. A leadoff double for Nick Flores and just the second pitch.
And we've seen a lot this season from the Giants is letting up big runs in innings, and that's been a difference in a lot of the games. You and I, we talked about the game at DC, talked about at Alexandria. If you're the Giants in this first inning, it's trying to escape it without letting up on those big runs early in the game that we've already seen. The leadoff double is not ideal for that, but as long as Sean McCabe can now settle in, glad that one didn't go yard.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of balls travel during batting practice today here at Criswell Automotive. Bunt laid down by Adam Trott, the center fielder in game one here for the Senators. Once again, a doubleheader here in Gaithersburg. It'll be 5 games in 3 days if they play all of them. 2 today, 1 tomorrow, and then 2 more on Sunday. Trotch hits this one into right center, and that's down for a base hit. Flores is going to circle, and he will score easily. And just like that, 2 batters in, it's 1-0 Senators.
Interesting there from Trotch. Lined up for the bunt for the first pitch, got a piece of it, sent it foul, but decides to go full swinging on the second pitch and puts it exactly where he needs to, in front of Magnus Krieger, so his guy Nick Flores rounds home.
Sean McCabe in his previous 2 outings, both in relief, only pitched just 1 inning, but giving up a hit in one as Trotch takes off for second, throw down, and they say safe. Trotch gets second base on the steal. Was an awfully close play, but Michael Cantiliano not getting the tag in there in time.
Thought it was a great throw from White. I thought he popped up immediately, got it in there in time, just not what the ump sees.
We've had a lot of not what the ump sees in recent days. 1-0 from McCabe inside on Logan Tribble. So Trotch with that RBI single. Should be noted he is leading the league coming into today in batting average. Third pitch on Tribble finds the zone, and it's now 2-1.
Trotch taking an aggressive lead as well.
See if he is ready to go. That one misses outside. 3-1. Logan Tribble, 7th in the league in batting average at .372, just behind Danny Orr. Not in Game 1 lineup for Gaithersburg. 3-1 misses, and it's a walk for Logan Tribble. So, 3 batters, 3 base runners for the Senators to start Game 1. 2 by way of the base hit, and McCabe giving up the most base runners he's given up in a single inning thus far. His first outing that we mentioned in Bethesda gave up just the 1 walk, but got 3 strikeouts. Meanwhile, his second outing, this one's popped straight up on the first pitch by Steven Krause. Freddie Diaz calls for it, infield fly rule in effect, but Diaz makes the catch. And that is the first out of the top of the first.
You like to see that from Gaithersburg, get that out. I was going to say, Krause is coming to the play with a .361 batting average. With 2 guys already on base, that could be dangerous to break open it in the top of the first.
Yeah, this Senators offense has been more than enough for them to be the first team to 10 wins and put themselves in the driver's seat in not just the South Division, but the entire league. Swing and a miss on the first pitch by Danny Surwick. 0-1 to the third baseman from Boston College. Trotch on second, Tribble on first. 0-1, swing and a miss again by Surwick, and he's quickly down 0-2 as McCabe eyes his first punch out.
McCabe starting to settle in a rhythm. Took him a couple batters, but got that fly. I'm sure his confidence is boosted, especially getting the 0-2 here.
0-2 now from McCabe. Into the dirt at 75. Count will go to 1-2. So yesterday was a highly contentious game that unfortunately does not have an end written. Both dugouts and the fans in Olney were getting lively. 1-2. Strike 3 called, and it is McCabe's first punch out of this start.
Back-to-back outs there for the Giants, settling in nicely now after that early first run, not letting that affect their confidence too much, especially Sean McCabe on the mound. Finds 86 in the bottom of the zone to get that punch out.
Yeah, and talking to manager TJ Brockway this week, it's certainly been a point of emphasis to avoid that big early inning, and really that has been the thing that's set back the Giants. But last night they avoided that big early inning and kept themselves in it, and hopefully can keep that 3-run lead in the final 3 innings on Wednesday. 1-0 now to Carter Groen, a returner to this Senators lineup, now 2-0. Go ahead.
I'd like to mention Casey Gibbs, one of the assistant coaches for the Giants, out in center field. If you can catch him,
Yeah.
put a bag over the camera, some raindrops come in.
Yeah, some raindrops coming in here. Now 2-1. We hope that there isn't too much rain anywhere around.
He was asking our opinion before the game if he should have started it. Looks like he's doing it in the top of the first instead.
Yeah, new Synergy cameras out in center field. 2-1 misses, now 3-1 again. He had 3-1 count on Logan Tribble, who's still on first base, and walked him on the 5th pitch. So we'll see what Carter Groen's fate is. The junior Yukon Husky puts this one into shallow left. Circling his trotch, he's going to be sent home. The throw from Powell is offline. McCabe backing up that throw, cuts it off, so Tribble can't take third. But it is a 2-0 lead now for the Senators here in the top of the first. And still 2 base runners.
And Sean McCabe catching that ball that got past Zach White really saves Gaithersburg a lot of damage to be done. Probably each base runner would have taken an extra one, put 2 in scoring position. They just need that one more out to get out of this inning with only letting up 2. I thought it was a good throw from Brady Powell. It seemed online for the most part. A little wide. Zach White just couldn't get his full glove behind it.
Yeah, it almost seemed like Powell may have been a little surprised that Trotch was being sent home, as it was indeed in shallow left. It only went 148 off the bat. First pitch now to Jax Nichols. He's in there for ball 1. Now it's a 1-1 count to Nichols. Nichols from Motlow State appeared in the last meeting between these two teams down in Waldorf. 1-1. Called strike 2. McCabe eyeing his second punch out, and to end this first inning, again, point of emphasis is just not allowing the inning to spiral, and could stop that here. 1-2, 2 outs on Jax Nichols. Swing and a miss from Nichols. And that is the third and final out here from the top of the first.
Great pitch by McCabe there. Finds velocity with 86. Just barely clips that right corner in the zone. Catches Nichols swinging for it, trying to... He's excited. He's got 2 base runners out there. Gets him swing and a miss. Now they're packed. Centers did do some damage in there, but they didn't blow the roof off it quite yet. Giants bats are going to come up, and I think they got a chance to get this game going. It's only middle of the first.
Got Brady Powell, Collin Hughes, and Andrew Holub due up to start the bottom of the first here in Gaithersburg. We'll step away here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. I'm David Lewis, joined alongside Collin Smith. As we go to the bottom of the first, the Senators able to get 2 runs in the top of the first, and that's exactly the spot that the Giants found themselves after the bottom of the first last night, in only down 2, but now can get in a quick response in the same frame. Brady Powell, who celebrated his 21st birthday yesterday.
I bet he's hoping to get a win here tonight and really be happier. That's a good birthday present.
First pitch to Powell outside for ball 1. Yeah, you talk about a birthday present. He singled on the first pitch he saw to start yesterday's contest in only. 1-0 to Powell. Puts this one on the ground, a chopper on foul just beyond third base.
Powell for the Giants in the first inning, he had the most balls hit at him. He was seeing the most action in the outfield. So now trying to be the first one to bring action offensively for his Giants squad.
1-1. Misses outside into the lefty's batter's box. Yeah, he had to run a long way for the Nick Flores leadoff double, and then the Carter Groen RBI single following that later in the inning. 2-1 called strike 2. Now to the Radford product. Two. This one put up the middle on the ground, fielding it and throwing on the run. Throw is in time. What a play from Calvin Cook.
That was Brady Powell certainly has the speed, put the pressure on him. There was a hit just to the infield to Cook, but he gets his arm around, gets it to Krause quick enough, and that's a good defensive play. Something hitting to the middle of the infield, not letting Powell's speed get him on base.
Had his momentum taking him towards third, but able to get the throw off to first. First pitch is called strike one to Collin Hughes. Hughes now one of 4 catchers on this roster with the addition of Jacob Bunch, who was behind the plate last night in Olney. 0-1 to Hughes. Misses in the dirt, 1-1. Hughes in game 1 here slotted in as the designated hitter.
We saw Collin Hughes' debut. It was against the Senators down in Waldorf for the Giants. It was also my broadcast debut. And he had himself a night, made a statement for the Giants roster, and he's been continuing to make it this entire season. He's batting .349. We saw him win Hitter of the Week 1 week. So definitely a big cornerstone for this Giants squad.
Has become a mainstay in the top part of this offense. 1-2 now to Collin Hughes in the portal from VCU. Pitch on the way inside. Vincent Luther trying to get his first punch out after he grounded out Brady Powell.
Luther, a Binghamton guy. He sees just about as much snow as you and I see.
Hughes puts this one on the ground, fielded by his first base coach, Casey Gibbs. Back from putting a umbrella on top of the Synergy camera out in straightaway center.
Casey Gibbs showing he's a two-tool coach. He can climb ladders in the outfield, also ready to coach his base runners.
2-2 now to Hughes. Misses outside, count will go full. Hughes had himself a night 2 nights ago in Bethesda, hit by a pitch twice and then walked twice. And strike 3 called on Hughes. 81 hitting that lower part of the zone for Luther's first punch out of his start.
So now Andrew Holub up to the plate. We hear his walk-up song playing, I'm Feeling Good, Michael Bublé. We saw him picking that before the game because it's his home debut.
Yeah, he asked me what to put as his walk-up song. First pitch to Holub is strike 1, and I did not have an answer for him because I didn't know what music he listens to, and honestly, it's a very personal question, I feel like. A walk-up song, you can take suggestions, sure, but, it really should be your decision at the end of the day. 1-1 now to the Iowa Hawkeye. Pitch from Luther. This one grounded over to third and gets between the legs of Surowick. Right in the 5-hole. And there's the first base runner for Gaithersburg, Andrew Holub.
I'm going to say it was a good choice for his walk-up song. Somehow that ball snuck between the legs of Surowick out there on third base. Sure, he's not happy about it, but Andrew Holub's walk-up song did work.
It worked indeed, and that one has yet to be scored. We'll see the official ruling here shortly. Krieger grounds the first pitch over. Surowick redemption fields that one and gets the third and final out of the inning. So Luther gets through one unscathed, and we'll head to the second inning here on the Giants Broadcast Network in Game 1 of this doubleheader.
All right, they're throwing it.
Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. I'm David Lewis, joined alongside Collin Smith. Sean McCabe back out for his second inning of work. Gave up 2 to the Senators, and the top of their lineup back in the top of the first. But now we'll face the 8-hole hitter, Calvin Cook.
Calvin Cook made that great cross-body throw on the defensive side of that inning.
Squares to bunt here, pulls it back, and it's ball 1, as that one was high. Cook from Middle Tennessee State watches strike 1. One. Looped outside at 76. Now 2-1 the count for McCabe, who steps off to reset. And we'll go right back on quickly. Delivers to Cook now. Cook pops this one up. Marino calls for it. Aiden Marino is able to make the grab for out number 1.
Sure, Sean McCabe's happy to see that first batter out after the first batter scored last time around, trying to shore up and find his flow now.
First 3 batters in the top of the first were able to reach via double RBI single and a walk, but now a pop-up to the shortstop to start the top of the second here for McCabe. First pitch to Dawson Smale. Misses outside 1-0. 1-0. Called strike 1 on the outside part of the plate.
Interesting to see a designated hitter in the bottom of the lineup here for the Senators, but they got 10 wins, so however they want to set their lineup, I'm sure works for them.
Exactly. Strike 2 called again. As I see some more raindrops, umbrella has come out here at Criswell Automotive for those in attendance. 2-2 is that one missed outside.
If you saw our camera shaking, it was GM Matt Kangas putting a cover on it.
2-2. Count will go full. Yeah, Kangas likes to put the cover on top of the camera just to make sure nothing happens to it. Should be a little pretty water resistant. Full count pitch. Ball 4, as that one came in at least 3 baseballs low of the zone. And Dawson Smale is aboard. The second walk surrendered by Sean McCabe. He had Smale down 1-2, but just couldn't get that put-away pitch located. First pitch to Flores in that 70 for called strike 1.
That pitch had some great movement on it. It was going almost directly at Flores' head, but comes and finds the zone towards the end.
Pickoff attempt snaps the glove of Holla, but tag on Smale, not in time. Flores had that double and then came around to score to start the game. 0-1. Flores watches ball 1 wisely. That one again at 70.
We've seen good range from McCabe's pitches so far. Down to 70. We've seen him up to 86. Saw movement on that last one.
1-1 put on the ground and over the glove of Diaz. Flores 2 for 2 now. We'll see if that one is a hit or an error awarded to Nick Flores. It hopped just over the glove of Diaz as he had to range over to his left. And especially the game in Bethesda, the scorekeeper is there. So that one scored as a hit for Nick Flores, who's now 2 for 2. Scoring to bunt again is Trotch. And pulling it back again for ball 1.
Wonder if he'll follow his first inning pattern of squaring to bunt and then swinging through on the second pitch.
He does have another runner in scoring position in Dawson Smale. He fouls off the second pitch, however, so maybe not the exact same at-bat for the Duke Blue Devil.
Talked about Brady Ruiz-Weiss having a bunt count from his college coach. I wonder if Adam Trotch has a bunt attempt count from his. The amount of times he's squared.
1-1. Bounces in, and tough read for Smale, but wise and nicely tracking it down, is Zach White. And now the count goes to 2-1.
Good play by White there. Did not let any base runners advance.
2-1 from McCabe. Put on the ground and through the infield. Holub was holding on. Flores, the throw home. Not there. Smale scores. It's 3-0 Senators. Holub was shaded over to hold Nick Flores at first, but had he been probably in his normal position of where first basemen tend to play, he likely would have had that and kept it in the infield. But it's a 5th hit now for the Senators already.
If Holub had been in his normal position, Giants would have had a great opportunity to turn a double play and end this inning. But instead of run scores, and now the corners are full.
Pickoff attempt, and they say he's safe. It was a close play. Holub didn't give too much attention to it. May have thought that Trotch was in a little closer than he really was. First pitch now to Logan Tribble. Trotch goes, squaring to bunt and fouling it off is Tribble. That's now 2 RBI singles for Adam Trotch to start this game. As his average is now above 430, 433. Oh, 1 to Logan Tribble. Flores on third, Trotch on first. Scoring to bunt again and fouling it back again. And you can do that twice, but a third time, fouling it off on a bunt, and Tribble would make his way to the dugout.
I was going to say, it's an interesting situation now. Scored a bunt, foul it twice. Do you take the risk? Do you take the gamble? So we've seen Trotch wants to take off. He did on the first bunt attempt.
We'll see if Tribble stays aggressive with the bunt. Pickoff attempt, still safe at first. That one even closer than the previous go-around.
And that got the entire Giants dugout oohing and eyeing to their feet. That was close there. But as we always say, as the ump calls it.
As the ump calls it, McCabe will step back and do battle. Trotch takes off. High pitch. Throw down. Way in front of Trotch.
And Trotch taking off. Ball doesn't lie. Zach White pops up quickly. Gets it to Gatiliano. And now he's headed back.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal pop and throwdown. It was a high pitch, so a little easier to work with for Zach White. 1-2. This one lofted into center field. Nate Houghton-Henley will make the easy grab. Didn't even have to move, really, like he did in batting practice. And then we will head to the bottom of the second. The score now 3-0 Senators after they get one more. But the Giants can look to respond here on the Giants Broadcast Network.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. I'm David Lewis, joined alongside me is Collin Smith. And still on the mound for the Senators is Vincent Luther. Luther pitched 1 inning in the regional game against number 9 ranked Georgia and went a full inning scoreless over a top 10 team in their region, but he gets the first pitch off the glove of Flores. Zach White will reach on that one. 94 off the bat was a pretty low pitch to hit, but he got a good chunk of it, and it goes off the glove of the shortstop for the Senators, Nick Flores.
To borrow a golf reference, that was a perfect shot shape from Zach White. Just got up there, great movement, and not enough for Flores to get the full piece of it. And Zach White, great throw out in the last inning, now a great hit.
Now Nate Houghton-Henley steps up for his first at-bat. First pitch to Henley is inside. As the soccer game next to us picks up in intensity. 1-0. Fouled off into the netting.
It's always fun here at Kelly Park. In our broadcast booth, we have almost an equally great view of the soccer field that rec games are going on, as well as our Gaithersburg Giants matchup.
Giants trying to chip away at a 3-0 Senators lead now here in the bottom of the second. 1-1 to Henley. Misses outside. 2-1. Henley did not play last night in Olney. Last saw action in Bethesda. 2-1. Inside nearly hits Henley. And now 3-1 hitters count here for the future UMD Terrapin.
I thought for sure that one was going to nail him. Very much an inside pitch from Luther. 83. 4 baseballs outside of the zone.
3-1. This is way high, and Houghton-Henley getting another walk to add to his total. That'll bring up Michael Quintiliano. Quintiliano had 2 RBIs last night in Olney. An RBI single and then an RBI sacrifice that helped the Giants take the lead in the top of the 6th via a 5-run top of the 6th inning. 2 runners on now for Quintiliano. First pitch to him is outside. And for Houghton-Henley, who's only had 18 at-bats, that's now his 7th walk, as he now stands on first. 1-0, Quintiliano drives this one into center field. Tracking it is Trotch, who dives and makes the grab. Adam Trotch had a lot of ground to cover and comes up with that baseball, doing a full barrel roll at the end of it.
Adam Trotch, what a play. Diving, loses his hat, doesn't lose the ball in his sight line. Though Zach White and Nate Houghton-Henley weren't waiting for the tag. They gambled on him dropping that, and Trotch made him pay. No advanced bases for Gaithersburg. Really showing off his athleticism. He showed off his bat, talked about how great of a hitter he is, leading this league currently. And the Duke product showing he's equally as great in the outfield.
As you mentioned, the Duke Blue Devil, a tough place to be able to play baseball. One of the highly competitive ACC schools. He seems to be all right with stretching out his shoulder in center after that play. Squaring to bunt, popping it straight up is Marino, and it lands in foul territory into the glove of Jax Nichols for out number 2.
That's a tough break for Quintiliano. Tries to square up and advance those base runners that they were hoping for in the last hit, and instead sends another out, and is a really rough position that Zach White doesn't want to get stranded out there on second. The tying runs at the plate. I know it's early, but Gaithersburg would love to get it going.
We'll see if Freddie Diaz can get it going here. 2 outs, Zach White on first, Houghton-Henley on first. This one put on the ground, Flores fields it on the run, his throw over in time, and 1 pitch, 1 out on Freddie Diaz to end the second inning. 2 runners stranded for Gaithersburg as we head to the third inning. The Senators retain their 3-0 lead. And we'll step away here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. 3-0 still the score here in Game 1 of this 7-inning doubleheader against the Southern Maryland Senators. So just shy of halfway already, as this game will fly by. First up to bat is Stephen Kraus. Kraus popped up to Freddie Diaz his last time up. Inside, this time on Kraus, 2-0. From McCabe. High now.
Nearly hit Kraus on back-to-back pitches.
Needed to find the zone, and it does. 3-1 to another Binghamton product. And that one misses up high, and it's the third walk now for Sean McCabe.
Great patience there from Kraus. He watches that strike one, knew that McCabe had to find the zone, but just waiting for that ball. He's more patient than I am. I probably would have at least swung at one of those.
Patience is the key here, as the Senators looking to add to their 3-0 lead to secure yet another victory for them. 1-0 misses again, now 2-0, and 6 out of the last 7 pitches to start this inning for McCabe have missed the zone. 2-0 on Surowick. Misses just low. And now another 3-0 count. Pitch. 4-pitch walk for Danny Surowick.
If I'm manager TJ Brockway, I think I take this time to get my first mound visit in with Sean McCabe. We see 8 balls and 9 pitches there. It's only the top of the third. I'd want to see him go a little bit longer in this game, but take some time to settle here, especially if we start seeing balls up in the count here.
First pitch now to Carter Groen is popped up, tailing foul and out of play, and it will land right on top of one of the storage containers here at Criswell Automotive.
I'm surprised more of the few fans here didn't flinch. That one kind of got lost in the sky, got over the high nets here.
Yeah, we talked about last night how the pop-ups got lost into the dark void over Olney, as was the best I could describe it. But here, a overcast day. You could lose the baseball easily. This one grounded to Marino. Fields it. Double play ball. Cantiliano's throw. Safe at first. is Carter Groen. So runners on the corners and just one away. Would have been a tough double play to turn. They nearly got it. Just half a stride beating it out was Carter Groen, and that'll bring up Jax Nichols now. Still gives the Giants infield the opportunity for a double play with second base unoccupied. First pitch to Nichols called strike one.
Got some singing going on in the Senators dugout.
0-1. The Nichols pops this one into left field. That's down. It'll score one. Holding at second, however, is Carter Groen. And it's 4-0 Senators. An RBI single for Jax Nichols, who's now 1 for 2.
Everybody's eating for the Senators right now. It feels like almost every Southern Maryland player we've seen has had a progressive at-bat, getting on base. Obviously seen 4 of them cross home plate already. Their offense is certainly booming.
The only Senator yet to reach base in this game is currently at the plate in Calvin Cook, who popped up to short his first time up last inning. And he pops up again. Tracking is Marino in shallow left. He does make the grab. He had to go a long way into that outfield grass. But another pop out to Aiden Marino, so still scores as a pop out to the shortstop for Calvin Cook.
He was confident in himself. Didn't let the outfielders tell him off despite his backpedaling, but it's a good grab because that's not an easy fly ball to catch. Yes, that should be an out every time, but like we mentioned, it's either the center fielder sprinting in or Marino backpedaling.
That brings up Dawson Smale with the mint green gloves. Haven't seen that before. Don't know if I like it that much.
I noticed those, and he's not one of the 2 Binghamton players, so no particular reason to have green. He's at Xavier. That's navy blue.
Yeah. 1-0 to the Musketeer. Misses up high. 2-0.
Wonder if he is a New York Liberty fan, and that's why he's going with the mint green, representing Lady Liberty.
It's such an odd color. I mean, we've seen the pink bat, the pink gloves, the yellow gloves from different Giants hitters.
We've seen the Jaden Brown half pink, half blue bat too.
Yeah. Smale fouled off that last pitch. Now it's a 2-1 count for McCabe to work with. 2 away with Groen on second and Nichols on first. Groen takes off for third. Smale pops this one into the glove of Henley in straightaway center for out number 3. So the Senators continue to add to their lead. They've scored in all 3 innings now. Just plating 1 here in the top of the third. It's now 4-0 Southern Maryland as we head to the bottom of the third here on the Giants Broadcast Network.
Oh, we got power.
Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. Top of the order due up now for Gaithersburg. Brady Powell will lead off this bottom of the third inning. Powell grounded out to second his last time up, aka to start the bottom of the first. Almost robbed of a hit from Cook at second. First pitch misses the zone outside at 68. I believe that's the slowest pitch Luther has thrown thus far for Southern Maryland. 1-0. Misses inside now. 2-0.
You mentioned Luther had that one inning in the playoffs. See how long he goes here if he's only pitching one for Binghamton most of the time.
Called strike on Powell. 2-1 the count now. From Luther. Put on the ground to Cook again this time, and it hops over his glove. Powell's going to beat it out. No throw from Cook on the bobble. So Cook robbed him the first time, but this time too much to handle for Calvin Cook.
And I know the stat books are going to count that as an error, but Brady Powell, you get on base. That's what counts at the end of the day. If he came off your bat, you're the one getting on base. I don't care how that's counted in the stat book.
And it is indeed scored as an error on Calvin Cook, the second error this game for the Senators. And now Collin Hughes steps back up, struck out on a full count pitch, and pops the first pitch up and out of play.
Danny Serwick was running over from third, ready to make a play. Not sure if he's going into the stand, so that's not going to count for him.
Oh, 1 with Powell on first. Called strike 2. Looked like a changeup down at 80. Breaking back over the plate after Hughes thought that may have tailed to the outside. 0-2. Wisely takes ball 1. And that one barely missed on the track man. Looked a little low based on where the glove went of Nichols. A little lower, I should say. But 1-2 now for Luther to work. Kind of a half swing there from Hughes. Pops it up to Serwick in shallow left. Couldn't really see the play that much as I'm blocked by the foul net poles. But it is out number 1 and a pop out for Collin Hughes. That brings up Andrew Holub, still with the Michael Bublé. Didn't request multiple walk-up songs.
Don't think he needs to give our assistant GM Daniel any hard times with that.
First pitch to Holub is called strike 1. Holub reached on an error to the third baseman, Serwick, his last time up, but was stranded on first at the end of the first inning. Pickoff attempt on Powell, not there.
That Serwick first inning error is probably going to be the most interesting ones we'll ever see. Just went directly through his legs. Really unfortunate for him.
And he instinctively slammed his legs closed, but by that point, the ball was well past him and into shallow left field. Second pitch to Holub. He is very late on the 82 and pops it into the foul netting down the first base line. 0-2 to Holub. Pitch from Luther. That one gets away from Nichols, and Powell will take second on that. And Luther looks like he rushed his delivery on that one. And now we'll call for a meeting with Nichols. He looked like he rushed his delivery on that one. Didn't really come set for too long at all.
It certainly was not the motion that he wanted to bring forth. Obviously, the pass ball and everything. Like you mentioned, didn't really get settled. But that ball was almost out where, a little bit of a throwback here, where the intentional walk spot used to be. If you remember that, baseball fans nowadays, they just tell them to take first and move on, save the pitch count, I suppose. But those old days of when you'd have the catcher line up all the way outside the box, that's almost where that was.
That pitch was 74, but nowhere close. And now 1-2 to Andrew Holub, another runner in scoring position for Gaithersburg. As Luther steps off, that's one disengagement in this at-bat for Luther. Powell on second. Holub down 1-2, one away here in the bottom of the third. Pitch from Luther. Put on the ground to Cook. Fields it. Had a tricky hop, but puts the throw on in time to his first baseman, Kraus. Powell moves over to third, but there's now 2 outs, so no sacrifice opportunity for Magnus Krieger, but can still drive in the first run of the game for Gaithersburg if he hits safely here.
Talk about all the color accessories. He's the one with the pink bat for the Giants.
And the bright blue batting gloves as well. First pitch, Krieger pops into the netting. Krieger came in the clutch last night with a double in that top of the 6th inning to keep the train moving and give the Giants the lead momentarily. Again, that game against only suspended at the moment will be finished on Wednesday. That second pitch was inside on Krieger. It's now 1-1. 1-1 pitch from Luther. Krieger puts this one on the ground to Surowick at third. Throws across the diamond. Throw is offline, but the foot stayed on the bag. And the third and final out. Powell does not score, and it's still 4-0 Senators as we head to the 4th inning here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back here from Criswell Automotive Field in Gaithersburg, Maryland. Sean McCabe back out here for the top of the 4th. This was one of 6 games originally scheduled for today. This game 1 of a doubleheader between these two teams. Another doubleheader going on as well. It's the Braves in crop dusters and only. However, the T-Bolts and Aces and Big Train at Grays getting canceled due to rain that was given to those fields overnight. The rain stayed south of here and upper Montgomery County, so no big deal for Gaithersburg and only to play their doubleheaders today. 1-0, put on the ground to Diaz, waits patiently, now throws over and throws offline, gets away from Holub, and Zach White hustle play to get down there. And they say Nick Flores did not make a turn, and so even the tag from Holub does not apply. And now Flores has reached all 3 times he's been up. The first error given to this Giants defense. Diaz kind of waited and sat back on that as it was kind of a couple high hops. Scoring to bunt is Trotch, and it goes foul. Zach White touches that up. 0-1 the count now.
Trotch again, starting off with squaring bunt, despite being a great hitter. I was saying to you a little bit earlier, who do you think's having the best week out of Duke Blue Devils? Is it Adam Trotch leading the Cal Ripken Collegiate Summer League in batting average, or is it Cooper Flagg and Con Knippel and that crew?
Well, Trotch gives this one a ride, but it's not going to get very far into right field. And it's Magnus Krieger who makes the grab for out number 1 here in the top of the 4th. So I would have maybe said Adam Trotch, but with that flyout, he fails to reach now all 3 times he's been at bat. Still 2 RBI singles for him.
I agree with you. If he would have made it 3, 100% the better week, but Cooper Flagg, number 1 pick. He'll take the cake right now.
For right now. First pitch is high on Logan Tribble, 1-0. Tribble flew out to Houghton Henley in center to end the 2nd inning. 1-0. This one he hits hard into left field, and that falls in front of Powell, and base knock for Logan Tribble. And another runner in scoring position for the Senators, as they've scored at least a run in the first 3 innings. It's also the 7th hit for the Senators lineup.
About to say, when have they not had a runner in scoring position? It's almost like we're in extra innings and they're just starting with him on second base. They've gotten there early in every inning.
Steven Krause pops up the first pitch, and it lands just over the net and out of play. Once again, the only batter in this Senators Game 1 lineup yet to reach base is Calvin Cook in the 8th spot. Krause in the 4th spot here walked his last time up. 0-1 now. Pitch misses outside. Count evens at 1-1. Flores on second, Tribble on first, with 1 away here in the top of the 4th. McCabe delivers now after looking down Flores, and it's called strike 2 at 70 on the low inside corner. 1-2 now on Steven Krause. Swing and a miss, tipped back into the glove of White. And it's another punch out for McCabe, his 3rd of this start. That brings up Danny Surowick. Surowick 0 for 1. Struck out and then walked, but was caught stealing. Swings and misses did not get caught stealing, but was the out on the Carter Groen fielder's choice. Groen in the on-deck circle now for the Senators. But 0-1 now on Danny Surowick. McCabe delivers. Swing and a miss there at 76. McCabe eyeing his 4th punch out. And to end this Senators top of the 4th inning, with Flores on second, Tribble still on first. McCabe looks down Flores, delivers now the 0-2. Misses low. About a ball and a half below the zone. One, two, the count. Surowick swings and misses, and it is the 4th punch out for Sean McCabe as he gets through 4 and has given up just 4 as the Senators failed to plate Flores on second base. So, I mean, that has to be encouraging for the Giants, maybe someone to work off of here.
That's a really encouraging 4th inning for them. Sean McCabe on that last at-batter caught him swinging 3 different times. First time they haven't let up a run in an inning. So you're seeing that there's progress now. You didn't let up any runs. Now it's about putting them up when we come back.
Yeah, Vincent Luther back out on the mound, and we'll step away here on the Giants Broadcast Network. All right. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. Zach White will lead off this inning for the Giants. Singled his last time up. Zach White was one of two guests I had last night with me in Olney. Andrew Hollab also joining me for a couple innings in last night's broadcast. First pitch to White misses low.
Zach White's always a fun guy to talk to. I've seen him join the booth during some of the rain delays in the recent weeks.
Yeah, he certainly is very nice to be around. He just is always have a smile on his face, always something to talk about. Talking to him about the Crop Dusters dugout and how vocal they were during batting practice. It's now 2-1 as that pitch misses outside at 82. Talked about how vocal the Crop Dusters dugout was, in large part because their bullpen does not sit anywhere near the bullpen. They actually join the dugout, so it's just Crop Dusters lining the entire railing. Now 3-1 to Zach White. The 3-1 pitch from Luther, chopped foul by White. Full count now for the catcher, for the Giants catcher tonight, in this, or I should say this evening, here in Game 1.
I'm sure with the depth, we'll see a rotation at some point in a doubleheader.
Full count pitch misses outside, and it's a leadoff walk for Zach White. That brings up Nate Houghton Henley, who walked his last time up. Henley was with me out in center during batting practice, or well, I was with him because he was the one trying to work on his read. Swings at the first pitch, trying to go the opposite way and right, but it tails foul. And I think if that had landed in play, Carter Groen might have gotten to it, but it was tailing away from him and ends up landing foul. Would have been a close play again. Now 0-1 to Henley. That pitch misses way outside, 1-1.
Another one that Luther just didn't seem to have his right setup. He's a lanky guy, so his motion is very large coming across his body and just couldn't find the right spot there.
White takes off, pitch taken, called strike 2. Nichols may have bobbled the grip. Didn't really lose the ball out of his hand, but just didn't have a confident enough grip on the baseball to throw it down.
And smart by him. If he doesn't have the grip, the potential overthrow could even deal more damage and White could take third. So Nichols deciding to play a little more safer.
Henley grounds this one to Cook at second. He's going to have to rush the throw, but it's in time. White now stands on third, and just one out here in the bottom of the fourth. And you'd have to think that this is a must score. Get in Zach White in this inning. You can't leave him stranded with just one away. Michael Quintiliano will step up now.
Quintiliano finds himself in a great opportunity here. Zach White, like you said, this is definitely a run you can't leave out there. There's only one out. You got him stealing, and then you got him to advance with the Houghton Henley hit.
First pitch to Quintiliano is way outside, 1-0. Quintiliano had the fly ball to center, in which Adam Trotch went full Superman and then did his own little barrel roll at the end to make the catch. That pitch called strike 168, just on the outside. We've kind of seen Luther dial down the speed a little bit as he's now through 3 1/3. Quintiliano grounds this one through the middle infield. And that will score Zach White. The first run of the game for the Giants. Cutting into this Senators lead, it's now 4-1.
And I think Quintiliano hurt us. We put the pressure on him. I'm sure He felt it as well from his team. Gets that, splits it right up the middle between the middle infielders, and even the lengthy Luther isn't able to reach down and get it. So just perfect ball placement.
Quintiliano has definitely improved his presence at the plate. Swing and a miss by Marino. Now batting above 270. Again, had 2 RBIs last night in Olney. Pivotal RBIs as that game still nursing a 3-run lead are the Giants. Second pitch in there for strike 2 on Aiden Marino. Marino popped up to Jax Nichols his last time up by way of a bunt. 0-2. Puts this one on the ground to third. Surowick throws it over to second. Double play ball. In time. Umpire with a bit of a hesitation on the call, but it is a double play. 5-4-3 to end the bottom of the fourth. The Giants do get one back. Zach White, the first run of the game for Gaithersburg. And now we're more than halfway through game 1 of this doubleheader here from Criswell Automotive Field. And we'll step away here on the Giants broadcast. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. I'm David Lewis, joined alongside me, Collin Smith. It's now 4-1 as we go to the top of the fifth here from Criswell Automotive Field. Again, a doubleheader between these two teams, and both games will be 7 innings in length, so time winding down here for Gaithersburg to fight back against the Senators. Carter Groen steps up to lead off the top of the fifth. First pitch to Groen, 69 for strike 1.
McCabe's still out there again. He's done well moving it back into the zone against right-handed hitters.
Groen lines this one past the glove of Diaz and into left field. A hard hit single at 92, and Freddie Diaz couldn't quite get his glove on it. It was a tough play for him to try and make, but now the 8th hit for the Senators here in the top of the fifth.
That triangle of Marino, Powell, and Diaz on the left side of the field has seen a lot of balls come their way today.
Yeah, certainly the Senators lineup righty heavy and pull heavy. 1-0. Fouled back into the fence, and that gave you a scare.
That gave me a scare. I don't know why. That one just came flying at us. And the fence is there, but I moved. Because that's the first one that I've seen fly back at us that close.
It's now 1-1. McCabe puts this one in the zone, and it's driven foul off the bat of Jax Nichols at 91.
See, our camera is protected by the fence. We still haven't seen one come flying right back at it just yet. That would probably end up as like a TikTok edit if a ball hit the camera and jump scare some people.
1-2. Swing and a miss by Nichols in the dirt. Throw back down from White, but back in there is Groen. So just the strikeout, but it is the 5th strikeout now for Sean McCabe. To bring up Calvin Cook. McCabe has gotten 3 of his 5 strikeouts in the last 4 batters he's faced. First pitch up high for ball 1. Cook squared to bunt but pulled it back.
Still the only Senator not to reach base tonight is Cook, so hoping to join the party, I guess, but maybe not with that bunt.
1-0 from McCabe. Misses high and outside, 2-0. 2-0 pitch, misses high, now 3-0. And another 3-0 count for McCabe. He's already had 2 this game, in which both were eventually issued walks. 3-0. Misses inside, and it's a 4-pitch walk. And excuse me, that was a pinch hitter, not Calvin Cook, but rather number 14, Jack Ewert, the freshman going to Wofford College, the Atlanta native, getting on base. So Calvin Cook's day is done here in game 1. And then another pinch hitter coming up to bat is Lucas Grantham, number 10, the other Georgia native on this roster, sophomore at Georgia State. So taking the places of Calvin Cook and Dawson Smale.
His manager TJ Brockway goes out and meets with his infielders and his pitching staff.
And it looks like a new arm will come into the game for Gaithersburg. As McCabe's day is done, he gets through 4 1/3 and will step away while Ethan Bell warms up here in game 1 of this doubleheader. Don't go anywhere on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. Ethan Bell, new arm on the mound for Gaithersburg. As 2 runners on base, Carter Groen on second, and Jack Ewert on first. Lucas Grantham taking his first at-bat of the game as he slots in for Dawson Small, who was the designated hitter. And unless Scott Middleton wants to burn the DH here in game 1, as Groen takes off, this one off the bat over to Marino, who throws it to second to get 1 out. The throw down, not in time to first to complete the double play, but it does get 1 out. So now 2 gone here in the top of the 5th, runners on the corners.
Bell getting an out, his first batter face grounding out to Marino. He has come in. He's let up 14 runs, all of them earned so far. 14 runs, all of them earned. He's let up 9 hits. Gaithersburg hoping that he can get him out of this inning, finding that second out early.
Well, he gets first pitch called, strike 1, 70 pretty much right down the middle on Nick Flores. 0-1 to Flores. Again, Groen on third, and now Lucas Grantham on first after that fielder's choice. Couldn't complete the double play, but does get the out at second. 1-1 misses outside, 2-1.
Got to be careful on a pass ball here. Base runner on third, ready to take home. Both of those have been really low and into the dirt. Good covers by Zach White.
Bell's got to manage this one. 2-1. Misses high now. 3-1. So you do have a place to put Nick Flores, but obviously want to avoid that here. 3-1 the count. This one put on the ground and backhand by Marino. There'll be no throw. And a 5th run for the Senators here in the top of the 5th. It's now 5-1.
There, you saw Marino get behind it, but he picks it up backhanded. Just not enough time to get around, turn his body, and make a throw across. And smart to probably just hold it and not allow any potential errors.
That'll bring up Adam Trotch, who squares the bunt again. High pitch. And Zach White wanted to throw it down, but infield playing deep. Holub not holding on Flores. So no attempted pickoff or throwdown there. 1-0, the count to Adam Trotch. Ball 2 low. Trotch flew out to Krieger in right his last time up.
Which made his week worse than Cooper Flagg's as a fellow Duke Blue Devil.
Exactly so. 2-0. Called strike 1 on Trotch. The count now. Put on the ground to Cantiliano, who fields it at his shoestrings. The throw, safe is the call at first. Cantiliano had to field that at his shoestrings and try and make the throw on the run, but the speed of Trotch, we saw it in the field, we see it on the base paths, and he beats that ground ball out. And now it's bases loaded for Logan Tribble.
Trotch has been the do-it-all guy for Southern Maryland. You talked about that speed in the outfield. Great diving catch. His speed there. That's effort. Effort overtaking talent. The effort to run to first base and able to beat out one. When he hit it to the second baseman, Tiliano, yeah, he fielded it weird. He just outran a hit that he sent to a deep second baseman.
And now Logan Tribble has the bases juiced here with 2 away in the top of the 5th. Swing and a miss from Tribble.
This would be huge if Bell could escape right here.
And actually, it's not Logan Tribble again, but Alex Martin from Rush, Kentucky. The sophomore from Gulf Coast Community College. Swing and a miss there from Alex Martin. Interesting going to the bench here with the bases loaded, taking out Logan Tribble. We know it's going to be a long day for these two teams, but 0-2 now on Alex Martin with 2 outs. Pitch from Bell, popped back up into the fence. A loud clap off the iron here. And manager TJ Brockway will get his legs loose and go get that one.
Really interesting for manager Scott Milton of the Senators going to his bench, obviously taking into account today's a doubleheader. He's going to see how he uses his guys later, going to the bench early, hoping his starters can potentially start game 2.
0-2 again from Bell. This one high, gets away. Runner coming home. The tag is way ahead of the runner, and out at home is Jack Ewart, and that will end this top of the 5th inning.
And Bell smiles and gives Zach White a tap. He left him in a vulnerable position and throwing it over his head, but White recovers quickly, gets it back to his guy, and gets that third out and escapes a really dangerous position that could have blown this game wide open.
The Senators get back their 4-run lead. It's now 5-1 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. It will be Freddie Diaz and then the top of the order in Powell and Collin Hughes due up next for Gaithersburg when we come back here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. Freddie Diaz up to lead off for Gaithersburg. As Vincent Luther continues his start here into the fifth. First pitch to Diaz, inside and low for ball one.
Luther able to go this deep really provides the Senators a chance to save up that bullpen for the potential second game. It's going to be a long day for pitchers, so showing his versatility and showing how just important he is to this squad.
A quality start can give your team such a boost. That pitch called strike two. Second pitch was a swing and a miss by Diaz. Now 1-2 to Freddie Diaz. Misses way outside, 2-2.
Freddie Diaz has had a lot of balls hit at him today. Hoping to turn the tides here.
2-2 lines this one right to the third baseman, Surowick. And he put it right to the position that he's playing, so is that a half broadcaster's jinx?
I was going to say, are you going to blame me for a broadcaster's jinx on that one? I talk about all the balls have been hit at him. That one he sends where he would have been.
Yeah.
So we'll put down a half broadcaster's jinx for that because
right.
He did get his bat behind the ball.
He did at 92 off the bat. That brings up Brady Powell and misses into another zip code on Powell, 1-0. Sounded like action in the Senators' bullpen, but Luther has gotten through four as Powell hits this one into right field, but under it to make the grab is Carter Groen. And now there's two away quickly for Luther.
Braun hesitated for a second. Looked like it might drop, but then gets his feet moving and gets under it.
Line drive 86 off the bat and just carried right to where Groen was. That'll bring up Collin Hughes. Started the hands and wisely doesn't go further than that in his swing. It's now 1-0 to Hughes. 1-0 pitch. Tipped foul. 1-1. One, 2 outs for Luther. As the bat goes flying again, fouled off. The bat and the ball went two different directions. Luckily, everyone's okay.
We've seen a couple lost bats this season, you and I, David, as we've seen our travels the other day down in D.C., a lot of sweaty palms. Maybe the rain today affected with that one, but that one went the highest I've seen a bat fly all year. That was 2 to the sky from Collin Hughes.
And I believe it's about a 25-foot fence or somewhere in there, and then the netting takes over here, the backstop at Crisp Automotive. Hughes pops this one up into left field. Under it to make the grab is Tribble, and that will end this inning. So Luther gets through 5 and keeps the Senators' 5-1 lead as we go to the 6th of the 7-inning Game 1 of the doubleheader. And we'll step away here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. Ethan Bell back out as the Senators retain their 4-run lead. It's Alex Martin up at bat in place of Logan Tribble. Swing and a miss on the first pitch from Martin. Oh, 1. Started the hands, laying off of it is Martin, and the count evens at 1-1. 1-1 misses 2-1 as I feel some mist come into the broadcast booth here. Might be spitting a little bit out there in the field as the wind picks up as well. 2-1. Misses now 3-1 on the first batter here in the top of the 6th for Ethan Bell.
The elements starting to become a factor. We saw the Collin Hughes 25-foot throw of his bat.
Put on the ground to shortstop, backhand by Marino. Throw is in time to Holub for out number 1. So good job by Bell to not let that batter get away from him. Was down 3-1 and then able to ground out Alex Martin, but that one left the bat at a sizzling 102.
Great job by Marino getting behind the ball that's coming off the bat, 102. We've seen some infield struggles from the Giants, but not there.
Seems like the infield grass is extra lengthy. I mean, they were talking during BP in the outfield about how the outfield grass is actually playing fast today, but still the thick infield grass here at Criswell Automotive. This one chopped right in front of Zach White. Has to do a spin move and does get the throw down. Putting himself in the spin cycle, able to get around that baseball and pinpoint his target of Andrew Holub at first for out number 2.
Zach White with a little bit of style there. He's been an impressive guy for the Giants today. Only guy to cross home plate. Saw him make that impressive recovery off the pass ball, get it to Bell in time for the 3rd out last inning, and hitting the spin cycle. A little basketball background maybe.
Have to wonder if he does have any other sports backgrounds. The Louisiana native plays college ball in his hometown of Monroe, Louisiana at ULM. Both pitches to start this at bat on Surwick have missed. It's now 2-0. And this one popped into right field. And yet again, Scott Middleton has gotten to me. It's Cale Vinson, number 12, the senior from Middle Tennessee State.
A lot of change going on in this lineup.
And, that's now the 4th pinch hit in this game. It's funny that Middleton has been able to make all these changes to the starting lineup without needing to change his starting pitcher.
It's usually complete opposite.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of pitchers go through the Giants lineup and not a lot of infield change, but whatever works for the Senators.
That one hits off the hands of Carter Groen, who is still in this game, and he's probably wishing he was one of the substitutes after taking that one near the wrists.
He looks to be in a bit of pain, certainly.
Made the sound like it hit that bottom knob of the bat, but obviously may have partially hit that and then partially hit Carter Groen. So Cale Vinson now on second, Carter Groen on first, and still Jax Nichols coming to the plate now.
Carter Groen's taking a timeout on first base to try to walk off the little bit of stiffness now. Sets and is ready for Jax Nichols at the plate.
First pitch to Nichols. White thought about a back pick, and that one was called ball 1, much to the dismay of the Giants dugout. 1-0. Ethan Bell just trying to give his team a chance when they get to the bats next. This one popped up into right center. Under it, Krieger makes the grab for the third out here in the top of the sixth. And the lead remains 4 for the Senators, still trying to nurse this one through game 1 here at Criswell Automotive Field. Don't go anywhere on the Giants Broadcast Network.
Welcome back.
Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network, and to our surprise up here, David Lewis and Collin Smith. Vincent Luther still on the mound for the Senators, now entering the bottom of the sixth. He's gotten through 5, giving up just 1 run on 2 hits.
Really impressive stuff. The lengthy guy has a delivery close to the plate. Sure, for a hitter, if the ball's just that much closer, even a couple inches, is a difference maker.
Andrew Holub up to bat first. First 2 pitches for Vincent in the 6th frame, both balls. MJ Phillips taking over at first base for the Senators. 2-0 misses, 3-0. Pitch. Needed to find the zone, and it does on Andrew Holub. (3-1). Chopped foul down the third base line, and as the soccer game again intensifies to our right, full count now on Andrew Holub. Luther started this inning with 3 straight balls, and this one cracked into center field. Trotsch jumps up to make the grab. Came in a little too much, but just did a little bunny hop, Adam Trotsch, to get the first out of the inning, leaving the bat at 95. And part of the reason why Holub couldn't really get a good piece of that, he did have it go off the bat at 95, but in terms of distance was just because that pitch was fading to the outside, so kind of extended himself a little too much earlier in the swing to get to that one. First pitch to Krieger is called a ball.
Luther requested a new baseball after that one.
Interesting here as Alex Martin is in left. Started the hands was Krieger, decides not to go. It's ball 2. Alex Martin in left, Jack Ewart at second, and Lucas Grantham in as the DH. Those are the substitutions thus far. 2-0 misses. Now 3-0. Again, back-to-back batters for Luther that he started 3-0 here in the bottom of the sixth.
And back-to-back times, he finds the zone when he needs to.
And it was funny there, Krieger knew that was a strike, so he swung after the ball landed in Nichols' glove. 3-1. Misses outside, and Krieger's aboard with a walk.
And now there's going to be an infield meeting of the Senators. Interesting to see if Luther will stay out on the mound or not. Fear that we could have broadcast jinxed him, potentially.
We'll see here. It does look like a new arm coming into the game here for the Senators. Number 25, Nate Berzonski, the freshman heading to Mount St. Mary's. And
now there's a bit of a confusion with manager Scott Middleton and the ump about substitutions.
So Berzonski was checked for foreign substances, and I'm not sure if Luther had to leave the field before Berzonski could enter the foul lines and enter the field, but either way, it's now disregarded, and Berzonski will warm up while we step away here on the Giants Broadcast Network.
Welcome back.
Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. As the new arm on the mound, Nate Berzonski from Berlin, Maryland, the incoming freshman at Mount St. Mary's, steps on to the mound. The league leader in pitcher wins, not necessarily a stat that matters all too much when looking at the analytics, but still 3 wins for Berzonski in the 4 games he has pitched for the Senators. He faces Zach White. First pitch called strike 1 on White.
Talking a lot about White earlier with that spin move he made. And his still the only Giant to cross home plate.
He could change that here with Krieger on first. 0-1. Swing and a miss from White. He's down 0-2. That was 85 elevated up out of the zone, but still getting the swing and miss is Berzonski. Oh, 2, 1 out. Magnus Krieger on first. Time winding down here in game 1. Swing and a miss back into the glove of Nichols. And there's 2 gone here in the bottom of the 6th. That brings up Nate Houghton-Henley, who walked his first time up and then grounded out to the second baseman his last time up. First pitch to Henley, misses upstairs at 86. One-0 to Henley. Misses upstairs again. Pretty much the same spot and the exact same speed. Henley laying off the 2 high fastballs. 2-0 from Berzonski. Inside, and Henley has to jump out of the box for that one. 85 high again. So Berzonski, after striking out White on a couple high fastballs this time, these haven't been as close as they were with White. 3-0 the count. Berzonski needs to get this one in the zone to avoid a walk on Henley. And it is called strike 1 inside on Henley.
Henley was leaning away from that. He definitely thought that was a ball.
Having to take a step back on the last 2 pitches, but one of them called a strike. 3-1. Henley pops this one up into shallow left. Ranging over is Flores. He calls for it and makes the grab to end the 6th inning. Krieger stranded, and the Giants still down 4. They'll have 3 outs to work with in the bottom of the 7th, but first they'll have to play defense in the top of the 7th. And we'll step away here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Yeah. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. Leo Simpson out on the mound for the Giants to begin the top of the 7th. And the Giants will need 4 in the bottom of the 7th in order to force extras of Game 1 of the doubleheader, but in reality it would just be the 8th inning. Both games of the doubleheader will be 7 innings. So Simpson trying to just keep what is a 4-run lead for the Senators, 4 runs.
Yeah, 4 as it stands as the Towson Tiger heads out to the mound. Gaithersburg using 3 pitchers here today so far. Sometimes there's struggles on the double header day, so manager TJ Brockway trying to manage his bullpen as best as possible.
First pitch from Simpson on Jack Ewert misses 1-0. And you mentioned doubleheader struggles, another doubleheader on Sunday. So a quick turnaround needed for this Giants bullpen. Second pitch misses at 85. It's now 2-0 to Ewert. Gets a swing and miss on the third pitch at 86. As you mentioned, Ethan Bell previously on the mound for the Giants, going 1 2/3, giving up 3 hits. This one lofted over the head of Quintiliano, pretty much in no man's land, and just kind of died in the air. No real play to be made there, and now the 12th hit for the Senators, and another runner on base.
That's perfect placement, like you mentioned, over the head of Quintiliano. Houghton Henley was deep into center field, no opportunity for him to get up under it. So now the Senators looking to extend that lead and make a potential bottom of the 7th comeback even more difficult.
First pitch way inside on Lucas Grantham. Grantham took over the DH spot for Dawson Smale. 1-0. Misses high. Now 2-0. Grantham grounded into a fielder's choice and then was caught trying to steal home on a pass ball as this one takes off into center field. Henley calls for it, makes the grab. There's going to be a throw down to first to try for a double play. It was a nice throw.
That's one of the best throws I've seen from Houghton Henley. Got it to Holub on first, and could have been a little dangerous. Zach White wasn't there for any backup. He stayed at home plate. But a good throw, good catch. No out, but impressive nonetheless.
Yeah, Jack Ewert almost couldn't believe that one was going to be caught. Really showed a lot of aggression, basically 2 feet within second base, and then having to sprint all the way back once he realized Henley was under it. First pitch high and inside on Nick Flores. So Ewert safe back at first. And that's a rare play, double play that you see, a fly out in the outfield and then a throw down back to first. Taking off again. Now here's a throw down. Throw not in time from Zach White. Had a previous caught stealing earlier this game, but can't get Jack Ewert there.
Now, Ewert, he got to that second base and had to retreat. Well, wasn't happy about it. Clearly decides to take matters into his own hands next time around.
Yeah, he had taken off on the pitch that Grantham flew out on, and nice pick there from Zach White. 2-1 the count with that pitch going into the dirt. 2-1, 1 out to Nick Flores. Inside again, 3-1 the count.
That was almost right into Nick Flores' shoulder. He's had to turn away from that pitch, and Simpson's getting awfully close to the Southern Maryland batter's box.
3-1. Called strike 2. Count goes full. That one just clipping belt high on Flores. This battle's not done yet between Simpson and Flores. Simpson looks down Ewert, delivers now. This one chopped over to Diaz at third, throws across the diamond, gets him at first. The throw back across, and it's backed up by Aiden Marino to keep that one from extra bases for Ewert. Ewert waited for Diaz to throw across the diamond. Holub tried to throw back across to get the third out on Ewert, but that throw got away. But luckily, Aiden Marino heads up baseball to back up that throw.
Yeah, the Giants trying to be a little aggressive, take some risk. It's a 4-run game. You're in the final inning. Only 7 here for a doubleheader. So I don't blame Holland for trying it. And as you mentioned, good backup by Marino.
First pitch popped up into the netting by Adam Trotch. And with that ground out, Flores has failed to reach base for the first time in game one. Had 3 hits and a reach on error. 0-1. This one hit right back into center. Henley under it to make the grab. And 91 off the bat gets to Henley in time to get the third and final out of the top of the 7th. The Giants will have 3 outs to score 4 to tie game 1 of the doubleheader, and if they score more, they'll walk off game 1, and game 2 will start right back up at the conclusion of game 1. We'll step away for the maybe final time here of game 1 on the Giants Broadcast Network. The final 3 outs for Gaithersburg to work with as they're down 4. 5-1 the score as we enter the bottom of the 7th. Nate Berzonski still on the mound for the Senators as they look to get through game 1 using just 2 pitchers. Michael Quintiliano first up to try and respond and chip away at this 4-run Senators lead. First pitch to Quintiliano misses up high.
So a lot of work to be done for the Giants. The tying run still far deep into the dugout as it stands.
1-0. Quintiliano pops this one up in the infield. Nichols ranging for it. Can't make the grab. And so Quintiliano will reach first. A tough play for the catcher to make. And Nichols unable to really set his feet. And they score that as the 3rd error for the Senators this game.
And you talked about last night a bit of a black hole in the sky. Today's a gray hole with all this cloud cover. I'm sure the ball is hard to pick up with such a kind of misty air out here in Gaithersburg.
Sure is, especially with when pop-ups like that go straight up, they tend to move around, at least to our eyes, as we try and get under it. Those infield pop-ups. Now Aiden Marino with Quintiliano on first. First pitch high to Marino. 1-0 the count. From Berzonski. High for ball 2 at 82. Freddie Diaz, and then the top of the order due up for Gaithersburg. 2-0. Marino pops this one up back into the netting, so Jax Nichols doesn't have to worry about it except it coming off the net and landing near him.
He turned his eye off it when it hit the net, but I think the ball landed awfully close to him, maybe looking for some revenge.
Well, the nets here at Crispo Automotive Field are a lot higher than pretty much every other ballpark in the Cal Ripken League, so he probably assumed that one was popped over and out of play, just instinctive there. 2-1 now to Marino. He hits this one hard into left field, but under it to make the grab is Alex Martin, and now the Giants down to their final 2 outs.
Freddie Diaz looking to be the difference maker for the Giants. It was a good ball from Marino, but just it's right into left field.
Yeah, unfortunate placement there for Marino. Don't have a distance on it from our track man. 1 away for Freddie Diaz. First pitch to him is way outside at 84. 1-0. Berzonski hasn't really found the zone much in his outing. It's just the ones that he has placed over the plate. Giants haven't been able to hit safely on them. 1-0. Diaz fouls this one back into the netting.
Berzonski definitely likes playing with outside of and the outside of the zone, as you mentioned. That one just clipping the top right corner here at 83 miles an hour. So trying to get 2 more outs and finish the first leg of this doubleheader, and hoping the centers only go through 2 pitchers.
1-1 is left up high by Diaz. It's now 2-1. Giants need base runners, and they need them in a hurry. 2-1, 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Diaz fouls this one back into the fence. Even count at 2 apiece. Two-two to 2-7. Freddie Diaz from Davidson College trying to get on base here for Gaithersburg and start a rally. 2-2 left outside at 73. Count will go full. Full count pitch, 1 out. Cantiliano on first. Left, down, low, and it's a good eye from Diaz, and he's aboard with a walk for the top of the order and Brady Powell.
You know, with that walk, you know what happens now, David, is the tying runs in the on-deck circle. This game's not out of reach for the Giants, especially since it's Brady Powell and Collin Hughes that are up to bat looking to be those difference makers.
Brady Powell has reached on an error to the second baseman, Calvin Cook, at the time. Powell swings at the first pitch and pops it up back into the netting. And there's the aggressive Brady Powell that we've seen time and time again. First pitch, seeing something he likes, but fouling it off. Now down 0-1 to Berzonski. Berzonski looks down Cantiliano on second. Delivers now. Pitch goes outside. 1-1. One out. Bottom 7 of game 1 of this doubleheader. Berzonski delivers outside. 2-1 the count.
Berzonski trying to find the zone. He knows that his centers have a good lead, but I mentioned the Giants are knocking on the door.
Swing and a miss from Powell, 84. Almost middle from Berzonski, middle low. It is on the track man. 2-2 the count. Berzonski trying to get his second punch out of his outing. 2-2. Swing and a miss from Powell, and he knew it. Walking out of the batter's box, he could have left that one alone.
Yeah, Powell swung at one that, according to the TrackMan, was about 3 baseballs outside of the zone movement from Berzonski, and just tripping up Powell to get himself 1 out closer, 1 away from closing game 1 of today's doubleheader.
Giants down to their final out with Collin Hughes up at bat now. Leaves that one low. And that swing and a miss pitch from Powell is one that he left alone earlier in the at-bat. One of 2 balls Berzonski threw to Powell. But having 2 strikes on him, Powell having to dial up the aggression and try and stay alive, ends up swinging and missing. 1-0 is punched, tailing foul, and it does get out of play down the third base line. 1-1, Collin Hughes trying to keep this game alive. Giants down to their final out in game 1. 1-1. Called strike 2 on the outside. And now Gaithersburg down to their final strike.
Hughes getting set.
1-2, 2 outs. Cantiliano on second. Diaz on first. Swing and a miss by Hughes. And that will end game 1. Senators take game 1 of the doubleheader in 7 innings, 5-1. We will have the second game up, I believe, in 30 minutes or so. It was scheduled for 7 p.m., but we might start a bit earlier because of how quickly game 1 wrapped up. Pay attention to the Giants' Twitter and Instagram for updates on the start time of game 2. Collin, your thoughts on game 1?
My thoughts were the Giants' bats again just could not get behind it. We only saw 1 runner cross, and it was a difference for the Giants today in terms of defensively. It wasn't 1 inning that stuck out to me. That's usually where they've let up a lot of runs a single inning and then been great the rest of the game. So a bit more consistency, kind of an even game per se from the pitching staff. But it's just that consistency that we need to see all around. We need to see the bats and the pitching come together, and we really have yet to witness that on the Gaithersburg Giants broadcast network. And hopefully game 2, there's a bit of a difference there. We'll see a different lineup, I'm sure, as we saw some substitutions there from the Senators. Wonder how each team will play out the second leg, but I'm excited that we get to call back-to-back.
Yeah, just 2 hits for the Giants offense in game 1. We hope that is a different story in game 2. Collin and I will be back on the broadcast. Collin will take over play-by-play for game 2, and I'll serve as the color commentator, and we hope you tune in when we resume play for game 2 of this doubleheader between the Southern Maryland Senators and Gaithersburg Giants. From Criswell Automotive Field, signing off for now, Colin Smith, I'm David Lewis, and we'll be back with you shortly. Thank you.